No, what is it?
This is the 155th anniversary of Lincoln being shot today.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know
Did you
that.
know
I
that?
had no
You
idea.
know John Wilkes Booth, your great cousin.
I didn't know that, dude. No way.
He didn't die until the next day, though, on April 15th. But everything else, besides everything else, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the show?
Yeah. What is today? April what?
April 14th,
19.
19, 2020.
God,
God, it seems like 19 yesterday, right?
dude. What the hell? What the hell? Wow. So this is April 14th, 2020. Hey Greg, how you doing, buddy?
Good evening, Dave.
We are practicing safe. What is it called?
Social distancing.
Social distance.
We are about 13.9 feet from each other, which is about 2.5 times normal distance.
You're outside. I'm inside. We're safe.
We're safe.
So, April 14th, 2020. When was the first time we recorded one of these things?
Well, I believe it was March 17th, and which was exactly 4 weeks ago tonight. And there were 5,600 cases in the United States of COVID-19. And today we surpassed 600,000 cases. So about 112 times in only less than 1 month.
So what's going to happen? Where are those numbers going to take us?
Well, there's some pretty interesting forecasts out there. There's a guy on CNN last night. Name is Dr. Osterlom, a major epidemiologist out of University of Minnesota, who's widely followed by all the major institutions. And he actually got on TV last night, said this was the beginning, the second inning of a very long process, unfortunately. And he estimates that there will be between 1.2 and 1.6 million deaths after it's all done, having 40 to 50% of the population having contracted this, where 1% of the population, 1% of those will die, unfortunately, which is just scary given the fact that we just have 23,000 deaths today.
Yeah. How many do we have today? How many deaths do we have today?
I think we're between 23 and 24,000.
Right.
I think today was the worst day, actually. We had almost 2,400 deaths today.
And what's happening in New York City now? Have you talked to your guy up there?
New York is just locked down. They are feeling that the thing is plateaued, at least for right now. Their hospitalizations are down significantly, but, it's kind of a 2-week lag, and that's why their death rates are still pretty high. But they need to continue to test, and they need to try to keep it under control, because they are about 35% of all the cases in the country. So big hot spot. New Jersey's pretty bad now. California seems to have it under control. Texas, go Texas. We've got Austin, Texas has got less than 750 cases so far. At least that's what they tell us. But we have very stringent social distancing rules. The governor just came out today and expanded the mandate to May the 8th, where you have to wear mask in public settings like restaurants or anywhere else you're going. And schools are closed indefinitely.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the mandate? Is that all right?
It's necessary until we understand what the score is. An article came out tonight in one of the New York papers that now they discovered a secondary or at least a tertiary mutation of the coronavirus, which makes developing any vaccines that they're working on now could be for naught, at least for the strain that they're testing right now. There's another strain that came out of India that was completely different. Um, so
And what do you
it's
mean different? What's different about it? The way that
means that it
the
means
sickness that it creates, or what?
means that it's the certain the uh, virus catches on to your lungs and attaches, and apparently it's attaching differently than they originally thought, and the location for which it's attaching, and it just creates a different type of cause and effect for whatever drugs they're testing right now. It's we're unfortunately in a very early stage of drug development and testing and so on and so forth. So um, we're in a pandemic. It's never been seen before in anybody's lifetime that's alive today, and we're just trying to. But the good thing is we've got some brilliant people working on it. 20 drug companies all over the world. They're going to figure it out. The problem is that it could take 18 months, 2 years. We just don't know.
Right. How much longer do you think it'll be that that Austin is locked down? What's the governor talking about right now?
I think right now, look, they could open up certain segments of the economy, which I
Like
don't
what?
really.
What do you mean? What
Well,
do you
that's what
mean?
that's what people keep saying. And I don't really know what that means because you can't make people go back to work if they're not feeling safe. You can't have the restaurants open. I mean, if a restaurant has 150 people that can be seated and they have to exercise social distancing and they take out a third of their tables, a restaurant really doesn't make any money until the last 10 cents of a dollar. So a lot of these restaurants and bars will not be able to open if they have to maintain, social distancing rules. That may not be a rule, may not be, a suggestion. It may be a mandate at the governmental level. And, a lot of people won't be able to open for that. I don't know. Movie theaters, AMC, which is the largest movie theater chain in the country, is on the brink of bankruptcy.
What about the concert venues? Do you?
Concert venues are done. I mean, I have a very close friend who's a owns a building in San Antonio in which he is a landlord for Live Nation, one of the largest purveyors of putting on concerts, and they have told them point blank that they're not paying rent for the rest of the year. So if they're saying that with conviction, then that means to me that they have no intention of putting on any concerts on because of the liability purposes, and you're not going to get 50,000 people in any venue anytime soon.
So it could be August, September before things get cleared up.
I don't know what the definition of cleared up. I mean, we just don't know. I mean, we're just in, like I said, we're a month into our own lockdown. Actually started 1 month ago. They canceled um, South by Southwest, our big event here, 1 month ago today. Actually, it was actually March 13th or 14th, and so here we are a month later, and look what's happened. I mean, just go back to where we were. March 13th, we had a few thousand cases in the country, and now we've got 600,000 cases. Are we at 10x from here a month from now, which is another, which is 6 million people having it.
Yeah. What about just this idea of letting the letting the virus play itself out, putting the economy back in play?
It's a possibility, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of. I mean, one thing I do know is that if I had my parents were still alive, if they were in their late 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever, you're not going to have any elderly people outside. That's just not going to happen, and that's tough for people that have older parents because to be able to not see your parents right now because you can't feel you're going to. I mean, I have my in-laws haven't seen their grandchildren in several weeks and may not see them for another several months because they're in their late 70s. That's sad. I mean, the family unit's been broken up. I mean, people are with their families, their immediate families, and the reservations of being with other people. I mean, if you've been out anywhere in the last few weeks alone, people just treat you like you're already sick. And we're one of the most advantageous, probably per capita for as many people who live here. In fact, I'm sure of it. We're probably the lowest per capita infections in the country right now.
Yeah. So, well, you got any wardrobe suggestions for the lockdown? What are you wearing these days?
Well, I took my day pajamas off earlier and put my night pajamas on. And, I do change my underwear, and I do try to take a shower every day.
Every day?
Every day.
I can't. I don't know. I can't get that one going yet.
Well, you know what? I thought I smelled something.
Hey, when you're alone.
Well, we're going to hose you down here in a minute. I got some soap in the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, buddy. So
All
there's
right.
the update.
Hey,
April 14th,
hook 'em horns.
2020.
April 14th, 2020.
Gregg Honeybloom, the sweet guy here in Austin, Texas, the San Antonio boy. All right, so we'll check back in, let you know what's going on. Glad you could come on.
Thank
Never
you very
know who's listening. All right, take care.
Bye-bye.